Privet, Druzia. So, welcome back to Singer Dad Reacts. My name is Josh, and I am here to do another Diana Ankudinova reaction. And as hopefully all of you witnessed from my Wicked Game reaction, that was my favorite of the songs that she sung. And I believe as far as the You Are Super competition, she sang that in the semifinal based on one of your comments. And then this song I'm doing today is the one she sang for the final, Human. So yeah, as I've mentioned before, I really have the utmost admiration for Igor and the others that are involved with the You Are Super competition. I just think it's such a wonderful thing that they're doing, providing these children who many times, as is the case with Deanna, were abused and neglected as children, and now are starting to try to find their way in life and have opportunities. They're providing a stage for them to share their talents and follow their dreams, which is awesome. Love that. So yeah, those that are new to my channel, the greeting that I did there in Russian, hopefully it was close to the right pronunciation. I do that for all of my reactions. I learn the phrase, hello my friends, in the language for the individual that I'm going to be reacting to, so that I can reach out to all of you that are fans of these individuals and from all around the world. And it's something that came naturally to me because, I've been translating the subtitles pretty much from the very beginning into multiple languages to provide that for all of my viewers around the world. And as some of you may know, I also have worked with languages a bit through my classical voice training. So I've sung in different languages. I've sung Italian, French, German, Russian, Latin. So those are the languages that I've sung. And so with that, as you kind of learn those songs, you learn how to pronounce the languages. And so that helps with learning the phrases and so forth. Anyway, what I do for those that are new is I read the lyrics for the song in question, and I kind of talk about what it looks like the meaning of the story or the message of the song is. And then that kind of helps us as we experience the song and the performance to really better understand the message and to feel the words and to really gain something from it. Because music is really the universal language, and it can provide hope when hope can seem lost. It can provide inspiration, entertainment, and it's universal. For all of us can love it and experience it. So that's why I love doing these reactions, and I look forward to this one. So this song, Human, from my research, was originally written by Rag and Bone Man and Jamie Hartman. And so this is a cover of their original song. And the lyrics are, I'm only human. I'm only human. Skip the I'm only thing there. Maybe I'm foolish, maybe I'm blind, thinking I can see through this and see what's behind. Got no way to prove it, so maybe I'm lying. But I'm only human after all. I'm only human after all. Don't put your blame on me. Take a look in the mirror, and what do you see? Do you see it clearer, or are you deceived in what you believe? Take a look in the mirror, and what do you see? Because I'm only human after all. You're only human after all. Don't put the blame on me. Some people got the real problems, some people out of luck. Some people think I can solve them, Lord heavens above. And then the chorus repeats itself. Don't ask my opinion, don't ask me to lie, then beg for forgiveness for making you cry. That's interesting. Because I'm only human after all. I'm only human after all. So that's a repeat. I'm only human. I make mistakes. I'm only human. That's all it takes. To put the blame on me. Don't put the blame on me. Because I'm no prophet or Messiah. You should go looking somewhere higher. And then it just repeats the chorus there. Yeah, so it sounds like to me that the writer of the song is talking about many coming to him or her. I don't know if Jamie's a girl or a boy. I know the main songwriter is a boy. I saw his picture when I was researching. Don't ask my opinion. Don't ask me to lie. Then beg for forgiveness for making you cry. There's definitely a story. There's always a story behind all the lyrics that you read that the songwriters put out. I think this little phrase here is kind of at the core of this song, I think. Some people got the real problems, some people out of luck. Some people think I can solve them, Lord heavens above. So I think that's kind of at the core of this song, is that this person feels like they're having to really kind of be that counselor to their friends and that person that they can come to solve their problems and give them the magical answers. But the songwriter is saying, hey, I don't have all the answers. I'm going through the same types of things that you are. And just like that phrase where he says, I'm no prophet or Messiah. You should go looking somewhere higher. So I like that because, as many of you know, I believe that, right? I believe in a higher power. I believe that that's where the true answers can come from. So, so I'm interested to see what this song's all about. Again, for those of you new to my channel or that haven't already, if you could please subscribe, click on the notifications bell there so that you're notified of any of my new reactions. I would appreciate that very much. Thank you.
Thinking I could be through this and see what's behind. Got nowhere to prove it, so maybe I'm blind. But I'm only human after all. I'm only human after all. Don't put your blame on me. Don't put your blame on me. Take a look in the mirror and what do
That was cool.
Do you see the clear? Or are you deceived in what you believe? 'Cause I'm only human after all. I'm only human after all. Don't put your blame on me.
One of the things that I've learned in watching performers sing different types of songs and relay different messages through the lyrics is when you watch their eyes, you can really sense a lot of the emotion behind what they're singing and what they're feeling as they sing through their eyes. And so that's kind of, I was focusing just now on Deanna's eyes, and you can tell that she's thought through, as she does with all of her performances, she's thought through the lyrics. She's really worked it out within herself. What does this mean to me? How can I relate to this message? That's one of the things that was interesting from your comments about my last reaction of hers for Wicked Game, was that many of you said she was confused. She didn't really fully understand for herself kind of how it related to her. And that, I found that interesting because I could really feel her connecting with it. So I don't know if she had a last minute epiphany and it all just kind of came to her for that song, or if she just really dug deep to try to really connect with that and had a neat experience with that. That happens as well, where it literally comes together as you're on the stage and you're singing it and you've been trying and wrestling with it for a long time, and then it just all kind of comes together. So that's happened for me several times. But in any case, yeah, with this one, she has that distinct timbre to her voice that's unmistakably her. You can hear it as soon as she starts singing, and but those little jumps she did, the clearer and all that, those were really clean. And that's part of what I love as far as going through and taking the journey with the artist, as I'm doing with Dimash and of course with Diana, is to see their growth and to see them blossom as vocalists and performers and artists. It's really satisfying to see that, and I can see that with her. I saw big progress with Wicked Game, and now even more so here. And look how comfortable she is in this setting, right? I mean, huge, audience and this massive backdrop, people all around her. She's something else. So let me go back just a little bit so it's not as awkward here. And I want you to look in her eyes here, especially on this last little part, so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. See right there? She has really good instincts to kind of move around the stage and interact. You see the audience feels it. That was cool. She's gonna bring it right here. Nice. Oh, that's cool. That almost, when she was doing that, it kind of reminded me of and I'm sure there's something similar that she's tapping into from her culture, but from my culture, from the American culture, and some of you may kind of get a similar feeling there, but it seemed kind of like some of the Native American dances that they do, where they're doing with the arms and with the fire there as well. I mean, she was right next to the fire, so it just kind of had that feel for me, but she's got really good instincts about just kind of adding different unique elements. And some of my earlier reactions, she was doing the yodeling, of course, jumping from her chest into her head voice, and she does that very well, as I'm sure you all have seen. And so she did that here just now when she jumped up to the higher notes there. So she's kind of pulling out all the stops here, so let's see how she ends it. Nice. Sorry to pause it there. Did you hear the difference in the tone there, the tone and the timbre between those two when she was in kind of that higher line there, and then she jumped back down? I'm going to rewind that real quick, and I want you to kind of listen for the difference in the timbre. So she has kind of that that unique kind of sound that happens when she's kind of in the lower part of her range, and then when she jumped up to the higher part there, it changed slightly, and so she's very gifted in kind of changing things up. I want you to kind of listen for that. Right And that was good breath control right there. And then when she jumped down, see how it was different? Nice resonance. And these judges are getting into it. Even Igor. Oh, nice little growl there. Good breath control. See, she's still in it. And then she came out right there. That's the thing I've talked about with her before. Another one like that is Lara Fabian, who just stays in the song until the very end. And then you can tell there's like kind of, I don't know, it's like they're stepping out of that persona that they've immersed themselves into, and then they're themselves again. You could see it happen there with Deanna as well. Oh, so that's it. But you saw there how she really brought it at the end there and jumped up into the higher register there toward the end. Wow. Yeah, I have to continue to remind myself, and this is the case with a lot of the younger artists that I react to. I have to remind myself how young they are, right? Because it's one thing to kind of come in and to see certain things with a performance if it's like an experienced, well-trained performer, right? But she's young, right? I mean, I think she's 15 in this. I think it was last year. So correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but I believe that she's around 15. So she's really kind of like Angelina, right? I mean, she's already experienced at performing. She's been doing it. And I can kind of relate to some degree. I mean, my mom put me up in front of people performing when I was like 4 years old. So I grew up being in front of audiences, and it makes a big difference when you have that experience and you develop that ability to be comfortable in front of a crowd and not allow that to kind of hold you back or make you uncomfortable or not perform to the best of your ability, right? So she definitely is a seasoned performer and has really good instincts about, as I mentioned, moving on the stage, also with kind of the way that she flows the song, right? Because as I mentioned before, when you're singing a song, you're basically telling a story. You're telling a story with the lyrics, how you sing the lyrics, the dynamics that change, loud to soft, the timbre changes that I pointed out as far as how you change your voice during different parts to kind of bring out different textures of your voice and also different aspects of the lyrics. And also like how you traverse your registers, right? How you choose, okay, when am I going to jump up high? When am I going to jump up into my head voice or mixed voice in some people's case, right? Or whistle if you're, Dimash or Morissette or whatever. So all those things factor into a good performance. And I still liked her Wicked Game performance better than this one, but this is definitely among her better performances. I liked it a lot. Yeah. So bravo to her, and I believe she won this season as well, right? I think you guys said she won this one and the season before, both those seasons. So yeah, I'm excited to kind of move forward in her timeline, and I know some of you mentioned she has some newer songs that have recently come out, so I'm hoping to move along in her timeline and get to those as soon as possible. If she does have some, like what I've been doing with Dimash and also Angelina that are kind of relevant for our time, that are kind of like related to what the world is going through right now as far as like COVID and some of the other stuff that you guys want me to kind of jump forward to and react to. I'm open to that, just like I did for Dimash and Angelina. So be sure to let me know in the comments if there are any like that fit that criteria. But yeah, so I love Deanna, and I'm just proud of her. And again, it's kind of like with Dimash, right? I mean, I feel like a dad, kind of with a lot of these artists. My dad instincts kind of kick in, and especially with her, with the rough life that she had as a child. I mean, it's just, I can't even imagine what she went through and how her life changed when she was able to finally be in a better home and better environment and have music to kind of, lift her and give her something to shoot for and feel good about herself with, right? Yeah, so with that, I want to say the same thing to all of you as I do with the closing on each of my reactions, and that is that you are special. You can accomplish your dreams, and you are loved. And I hope that you feel love in your life. I hope you have a good support group around you, and that my reactions can bring you some amount of peace and joy and happiness in some small way. And that's really my goal around what I do, is to teach, but also to entertain and to inspire and send a message of love. And as the theme to my channel goes, music lights the world. So I believe that. I believe that is the light we need in the darkness that there is in the world right now. Music can provide the light to all of us across the world, and we can come together. And I have merchandise if you want to, support the channel and buy some apparel. I have my Music Lights the World logo on different things. You can go to my store. It'll be down in a link in the description. You can get all kinds of different things, from t-shirts to hoodies. You can even get masks with it on there and things like that. So if you'd like to support the channel, I would appreciate that. That would mean a lot to me. I hope that all of you are doing well, and thank you again for your support, and take care.